And good morning to you on Patriot Morning Show. Dave in the AM in the house, aka the Cornbread Man. Hope you're doing well this early Tuesday morning as you get ready for work, or you're getting off work, or you're just up and going. You may not be doing any of those things. Some people can't sleep, or they get woke up, or they have early morning rituals to do with their animals, or whatever it may be. For some reason, and there's not a good reason other than to do those things, you're up at 6 a.m. Ready to at least be moving somewhat. Our phones are always close by. We grab them, and maybe you got the notification that said, "Who the heck is this guy?" So you came in to check it out. That's good. We grow a lot of ways. We grow sometimes, or we're rejected. I mean, or rejected. Sometimes we get the unfollows, but sometimes those are people that have been kicked off a certain platform, and sometimes they may just drop us. Let's say I don't want to hear those guys; they're idiots. So it would be true. But we're glad you're here. We're glad to be here this morning. Rob is not here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he may not be here tomorrow for the SFP morning show. He's got some personal things to take care of. We're not sure yet, and may not be in for Wednesday night's programming either. We will know more about that today as schedules become a little clearer. And so, just as a note of programming, he might not be in the morning show or Hump Day View / the vent, the Southern Fried Vent. Tonight, we are on tap for the racing hour at 6 p.m. with my co-host, Dean the Professor Potts. We should be good to go at 6 p.m. Thursday will be at 6 p.m. will be the sports show, Southern Fried Sports. And James has had to take a hiatus. He won't be with us, but we'll continue. We will continue. So expect your sports also then. Don't forget Cornbread Nation Thursday, 8 p.m. Almost got used to saying 6, 8 p.m. on that. So we will continue, obviously, with those. And I do expect Robert to be back for that show. If there's any change, we will let you know. He doesn't like to miss that one at all, or any of them. But he certainly does not want to miss that show. The signature program we started some time back. It's not our oldest show, but it has become a very fun show, and one that we really enjoy having. So, how do you like the heat this morning? We got plenty of it. We were talking to Dog Tag last night. He's up and at 'em this morning at 4, shuttling people around from the Appalachian Trail, and felt for him last night as he was in a hostel with no air conditioning. Um, Very difficult, tough to sleep if you're hot, or extremely hot. This is going to be in some cases, record heat today across the southeast. And all the way up the eastern seaboard. Be 100 degrees, bumping 100 degrees in some places. The humidity very high. As we said yesterday, continue to check on people. Make sure they have fluids. Make sure they have at least a fan. Even though that wouldn't offer much, it would be better than no movement of air. And just check on people that have had surgery, people that are elderly. Uh, just check on them and make sure they're okay. This is the kind of day, of course, pets. Making sure that they have those same things. It's extremely humid. We are going to have somewhat of a cooling down. There are obviously some storms that are built in as well, but I think rain may be on the way for some. But definitely check on folks. It's and animals. It's brutal. We don't normally see this is for us is more August kind of weather in June. So I don't like it. I don't mind saying that I don't like it. When you wake up and it's already 75 degrees, that's a top out day for me. I kind of like that. But humidity is very high right now. We're bumping a 95% humidity here in North Georgia. Uh, Very, very extremely humid and hot, and it is again be heating up in the afternoon, upper 90s today. There are some potential for rain tomorrow and Thursday, and even into Friday. Of course, that's really any day when you have this kind of heat going on, and as we're getting into this time frame, but the chances are greater on some days than others. I'll be glad to see a cooling down. I know we're in it for a while, but you know what? Sometimes we get a blast like this, and it can be hotter now than it might be in August. It's crazy sometimes how the weather does. Uh, Not that it would be cool or anything, but I've seen it where we thought it would be really bad. It's upper 80s at some points, and so you think, well, it's not that bad. So um, considering what it could be. So there is a heat advisory on. Obviously, companies are taking precautions on extra break times, making sure they have cold waters, Gatorades, things like that. Setting up extra cool down stations for employees. You can only take so much, and you can push yourself and really put yourself in harm's way quickly in situations like this. I think of the people having to work outdoors, and even though some people may say I'm used to it or I'm, anything can happen. Your body could all of a sudden just things the system can kind of just go and mess up, and so it's just something you have to deal with. But it's rough. I think of people that come to work at our company. They've never worked in a manufacturing environment before. They have never, and they're starting not in the, as a chance to acclimate to it. They're starting right in the intensity of it. That's rough. And so you really have to condition yourself to be ready for those type of temperatures. It's, again, I did a lot of things when I was working back in the day when I was younger on the floor. There's all kinds of things, but you do to cool yourself down. But staying hydrated was number one among them. A cool towel or rag or some other thing that you could put around your neck always was very nice. Fans, working optimum, chillers, and the like. And again, just going into a place where you can cool down and taking time. It takes a while. Once the body temperature builds, it takes a little time. You can go look up the numbers. You can pull those up and see at what temperature you are, and how long it takes the body to cool down. It is not you just don't walk into a cool area. It feels cooler. It is. But it takes the body temperature a while to cool back down. And that's the danger that people get into. They think, oh, I'm good. I just needed to sit down for a minute and cool off. Their body temperature is still very high. And they go back in. And so you have to continue to put fluids in you. Just pump them in. And something that will, obviously not just water, because you need those electrolytes and stuff. So I just hate it for people that are caught in things like that. Um, you know, I appreciate them very much. I think I was going by some workers the other day, and they were doing road construction, and they were, even the ones holding the signs, their radio, they got the sign, and they're flipping slow, go, stop, whatever. But because of safety, they have to wear the safety vest. So they have to wear. In this particular case, they were having to wear hard hats. And here is those kind of temperatures. You could tell they were pretty miserable as we rolled through. You got the sun bearing down, so you have to cover a lot of your skin because you'll just get baked and sunburned. So uh, it's very tough. So it may not seem like a hard job. You're just turning a sign, but the conditions in which you're working are miserable. And so I just felt very very sorry for them. We could hit as much as 97 a day with a heat index of 105, and even in the shade, they say it'll feel like 98 degrees today. 1 degree cooler for tomorrow, but then a falling off a little bit. So by Friday, 88, which sounds like a cool front coming through, considering how rough it is. So it's funny, we'll be looking forward to 88 versus 97, 98, but it does make a big difference. Hey, good morning, Miss Cindy. You have a blessed day too. Appreciate you stopping by. I hope things are well. Take care of yourself out there today. Um, But yeah, and the storms when they hit will be violent, you know, or can be. So they're fast hitting, won't be there long, but you know, a lot of lightning, a lot of energy in these storms that can build up, even wind shear can happen off of these. But it looks as though we'll be kind of in a good mode about traditional for the time after these couple days. So if we can get by, um, you know, if we can get by today and tomorrow, slightly cooler on Thursday, and even more on Friday. So by the weekend, we'll be back in a little more traditional weather. But just be careful out there, folks. It's difficult, and you know, you think of anything that happened, and take care of your car. You know, I mean, people they cranking the air conditioning up. You know, check your fluids. You know, if you're going to be out, you know, going around and sitting in traffic, you think of those. Just everywhere we go is traffic. You're stuck, you know, and sitting at lights or whatever, and the heat's building, and got to make sure that that car is getting its attention as well. A lot of overheating will occur. You'll see people on the side of the road, radiators, you know, like a volcano, and so the health of your car as well. You don't want something to happen there and blow your car up. So just got to take a little extra precaution uh, during times like this, and be careful and check on those who, you know, there are those that just want to ask for help. They're just like that. They don't want to bother anybody. Just make yourself a bother. Check on them and make sure that they're good. Well, through the night, the news of a ceasefire has been obliterated by news that, according to Israel, Iran has broke the ceasefire, and now they say it's game on again. So they're going to continue hitting targets. The president announced this late yesterday that a ceasefire was in place. The oil futures fell $3 a barrel for the oil, and here we go. Uh, it's the Middle East two-step, or actually Middle East three-step. You go one step forward, two steps back, and so you get a lot of stuff like that. Granddaughter is coming to the studio with me.
Like, when are we
So,
ordering?
we'll talk about that.
No,
We'll talk about that now.
No, when are we ordering the
but
birthday?
this week, so she's want to talk personal important things to her, but we're
Because I'm turning 13 in less than 3
oh,
weeks.
she's turning 13.
And if we don't order them like today, they're probably not even.
Well, we'll take care of that. Trust me, it'll be okay. I got you. But yeah, the ceasefire has been broken. The Israelis are on the attack again. The nations are again on threat. I mean, the United States is on threat. American citizens are being threatened. Military assets, the Strait of Hormuz. It's all still game on. So it's not the nice, easy clip, and we're back to status quo as we were before. There's still some ongoing things that can happen. Terrorism is certainly on the table always, and you know we want our our soldiers to be careful, our assets to be careful in the region. It's it's dangerous. Think of our embassy staffs, government contractors, I mean civilians from the United States that are working in security and building things in the region all throughout the Middle East. They understand this. Alerts will go out, but think about them today and what they must be going through, and their families and how concerned they are as these the threats are made. I mean, these are direct threats that are made against the American citizens, especially those in the military. So nobody wants their families to, have something to happen to them, obviously. So let's keep them in your prayers today, and pray for the president. It's difficult to navigate. It's easy to criticize. I'm the first to criticize if I think that a leader, no matter who it is, maybe messing up. But this is not easy stuff. And those that are being highly critical of the president, no president has ever danced this dance and it been easy. We can go back and look at all those attempts by President Clinton and others to stand there in front of the people, trying to force the leaders to shake hands. And it's not easy, trying his best to get that agreement on the table so that they can claim victory. And that's big for administrations. It's not easy. It's absolutely not easy for that to happen. And so the president is navigating a dicey very critical. And the Middle Eastern way is you got to save face. So even if you have a deal, they're going to continue to strike back for a little bit just to save face, to look tough in the face of their enemies, or their own people would take them out because they would view that as a weakness, and the leader was now weak, and they're not able to then uh, be the leader. They're not strong enough. So pray for the president. It's just difficult, and we still have Russia, Ukraine that is going on. Cyber attacks are occurring. So and they've not even talked much about the solar flare uh, impact that's occurring this time of year. It's an uptick from what it is. So if your telecommunications are not working correctly, it could be cyber, or it could be the sun. So, or it could just be a failure of your company that is not taking not taking things serious as they should. Customer service, not getting your Wi-Fi up the way it should be. But I think everybody I've talked to, it seems, had some Wi-Fi issues. But I think a lot of that is obviously what the systems of America or the world, excuse me, of the whole earth is under attack from the sun. And it's not been talked about too much, but this is an uptick. It's more than usual. And those are amazingly difficult on our telecommunication, also on us. It's not good for us. I mean, the earth is being inundated by these. And sometimes the press just ignores that stuff, but pay attention to that. This is the solar flare activity is on the uptick, and the intensity is higher than normal. And so you think about things that could happen when you think about uh, shutdown of systems. That's also very scary as we think about what could happen, and then the damage to that, the cyber attacks upon our water systems or electrical grid or whatever. So let's be praying for those people that are the computer people that are smart, stopping those things from happening. Can you imagine this kind of heat, an electrical shutdown that was manufactured by a foreign terror entity that all of a sudden was able to get into our systems, and what damage that would cause to you don't shut down a system and then crank it back up. There are areas of our country that are more volatile than others uh, in this area where there's not, the systems are outdated, and we know that there's actually trillions of dollars of improvements that need to occur to the electrical grid across the United States, and nobody's wanting to spend the money, so they kept putting it off. And what could happen? So those threats are not just in the Middle East; those threats are here. And it's not only the Iranians, but it's also, we know, the Chinese and the Russians as well, and others. I mean, cybersecurity has become every country has their people that are trying to attack, and the scammers, they come from everywhere too. But there are people that are, really smart, but they use it in bad ways, and they try to hack our systems and cause us damage. If it's just shutting down the websites for something that we really need to use, disruption of global supply chain. But my God, can you imagine they were able to, infiltrate water systems and change the amount of mixtures and stuff, and what that, poisoning the water, so to speak, or just shutting the grid down on that? How horrible that would be. A double whammy. Can you imagine an electrical shutdown and then a water shutdown? Oh, it'd be cooked. No pun intended. That would be bad, and it wouldn't be something happened overnight. People made fun of the preppers. Oh yeah, you preppers. But you know what? They were smart enough to start putting away some stuff for the tough days, and they're ready, with water supplies and stuff, and the treatment for that water, and food stuffs that and cooking systems and whatever. Some people are very smart, put that away. Some people have it, and so it could be the sun, it could be cyber, or it could just be the extreme heat. Also, these systems are being pushed by the amount of that's being pulled. This is a record 3 days. It's going to really push. Even for in our area, we have a lot of nuclear power. It's still going to push that system, and so save where you can. Keep lights off, because the draw is going to be massive, and there could be rolling blackouts. It could happen. It happens in our area. It certainly happens across the United States, and people are used to that. You get the little signal, the little flash, and fix and shut down. That'd be horrible today about noon or 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there. That would not be fun at all. Let's take a quick break. Let me refill my cup, and we'll be right back. It's a Patriot morning show with the Cornbread Man. We'll run an ad for Patriot Mobile that I made here in the studio, and we put it out there on socials. But we do appreciate our partnership with Patriot Mobile and all of our affiliates, Mammoth Nation, W Energy Drinks, and Podbean. And soon we'll be offering coffees, and we're getting our Shopify store up. We're adding logos and things to the store. The coffees that we have, I think 5 or 6 logos loaded up. Still got some work there to do before we launch that. Worked on it a lot last night. We'll get that done here very soon. We'll be right back. Happy Tuesday to you. Okay, that's a wrap, guys. We'll see you next time. Hey, Dave in the AM here for the Southern Fried Podcast. You know, we do a lot of programming here at the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. We have a few affiliates that we use that have been a blessing to us to take us on and partner with us and bring you more programming. Our latest one is Patriot Mobile. You've heard us talk about them a lot, and they are just spectacular. And we're honored to be a part of such a great American faith-based company, which is committed to those faith and traditional USA values that all of us great Americans love. And we want to encourage you to do business with them. There's a lot of talk about new phone companies coming out. If you're not happy with who you are with, you know what, you can stay on your same platforms. You can stay on those major cellular networks, cell towers, but you're going to be supporting an American company that's been around for 13 years, Texas-based, and they are standing for those same faith-based, family-based, USA values that you cherish and that we don't want to see lost. We talk about that a lot on the programs here, which we do each day and every week. All of this is helping us. Now we're members of, we are consumers of Patriot Mobile. In fact, on my desk here is the phone that we use for the business. Robert also is a member of Patriot Mobile. We encourage you to make the switch today. We're in their loyalty program. That means that as long as you are with Patriot Mobile and we're with Patriot Mobile, there's a loyalty there where everybody benefits. You get savings, you get to support a great American company. You know, the prices are very reasonable, and they'll find one that fits you. It's great for the company because they're being supported by traditional Americans who love this country, who love Jesus Christ, who love family, and they care about their country. They care about family. They care about kids. And then we benefit as well because we get a portion off of each of those every month as part of that loyalty program that will keep all this great programming coming and allow us to expand those. So today we just want to say, support this company. You know what, if you don't even use the promo code Cornbread, that's fine. Support the company. Also, we have some others we'll be doing some promos for. Thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. We're a little over 1 year old. We are so excited about what's in store for the future. We're trying every day to get better at what we do, to increase and bring you more value. We're fixing to bring you some more things through our store, which is going up. And we already have part of the store, but we're going to have coffees and different things here at the Southern Fried. Thank you for support. We appreciate you. We salute you today. And just remember, we recognize you out there. We see you as numbers on those screens. We see you as names in the chat that pop in. And without you, there's no reason for us to do any of this. And so we thank you. You deserve the credit today, and we salute you. Take care. See you next time. Dave in the AM. All right. Speaking of Patriot Mobile, they are celebrating life right now. They've been having different, every week of June, they've been promoting something different, whether it was the flag or fathers. And this week we're in right now is life. And I can't think of anything greater to celebrate than life. And that's what I mean, folks. It's an absolute joy to work with this company. I mean, you know, I see some people sell things, and I get it. It's the nature of things. You have to have those supports, but it's almost like you know, it's just doing business. There's nothing wrong with it, but you don't see a passion there. This is not the way it is with us and those that we are affiliated with, especially Patriot Mobile. And yeah, you think, boy, you talk about that a lot. You dang right we do. If it never financially benefited the Southern Fried. I will always support this company. I went out to actually be affiliated with them. We were not successful. We feel like it was the Lord who brought us back together, and I mean, it was just a moment when they called us to say, "Hey, we want to partner with you." And we even underestimated just how strong this company is in the areas that they are. And I've just been totally amazed. And there's a lot of people that we promote, and we don't receive anything from them. We do it because we like them. We do it because we want to help. And they were friends to us when we first started. Some of the folks that we promote, they gave us a chance when nobody else would, and that's hard when you're first starting. There's a lot of people won't give you the time of day, so to speak, and you don't forget that. You don't forget who your friends are. And Patriot Mobile's a friend, and I can say that. So if it ever benefits the Southern Fried, uh, you know, we're hopeful of that. That'll be great. That'll help us just be better at what we do. We're not going anywhere. It'll just help us to do it better. It'll help us to move and improve things in ways that we couldn't even imagine. But if it never does, we will still throw the cards up for this company always. But thank you, Patriot Mobile. I want to say that you're amazing, and they build all the assets for us. We don't do anything with that. They do all the heavy lifting. It's truly amazing. Love those folks. Every time I talk to them, I walk away with um, I can't even describe how I feel about it. It's like your friends. You just never knew you had those friends, and then when you talk to them and the respect and the things they do and stand for, I just stand amazed. I really do, because it just everything. Corporate America is. I get it. It's business, but it's so cold sometimes. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's very cold. Sometimes those catchphrases that they use for marketing are empty. You do business, but you don't feel anything off of that. You don't feel like that you're recognized. You don't feel like that you're just a number on a sheet. You don't feel that. But with Patriot, it's different. It's just different. They just are different, and that's nothing against any other company. It's just where they stand, and we'll always support them. And let me say very quickly, Mammoth Nation is another nation. Excuse me, another. It is another nation, Cornbread Nation, but it's another company that we firmly believe in. We've been with them a little longer, Mammoth Nation. And folks, they've brought it around again. I've been mentioning it, that half off of lifetime membership. And I can tell you that's 125. You think, oh, that's a lot of money. But you pay a monthly subscription to stay within their system, and all these great discounts that you get. You're going to more than make that back in the first year. I promise you. They are, as they said, they support conservative, Christian, and veteran-owned businesses. I've checked them out. I've bought from these companies. You can use that QR code right there to go in, and yes, it will help the Southern Fried. There'll be a percentage that will help us. But I'll tell you, this is another company that I stand with. Whether it ever was, and let me tell you, there's not been a benefit financially whatsoever from these to us. We hope they will be one day, but if it never does, the card is still going to go up. It's really made we. This is how much so far we have made off of anything that we've promoted. That's it right there. Why do we do it? Well, because we believe in them. And one day as we grow, we hope we can be not the slacker on the block. Hopefully they don't kick us to the curb. I don't think they will. We're still promoting them, and one day maybe it'll be an assistance for us. We're very new. We're still very young. We're only a little over a year old. And so we're very transparent. Some people, we I got message one day. This has been months ago, by this person that said, "All you podcasters need to give your money towards this that you're making." And certainly, there's some podcasters out there making some pretty good money, and I don't fault that at all. Go for it. I'm a capitalist. And there should be people want to make money at what they do. So they assumed we made all this money. I said, we don't make no money. It's a net. It's a loss. It's a net loss. We're paying out of our pockets to put all this up. I don't know where you think they apologized. They assumed. They said, "Well, I've seen you all over the place." We assumed. I said, "Yeah, we paid for our dime on that." Uh, we have since been able to bring ourselves to where we're mostly the podcast is being paid for the expenses. There's no money coming to Dave and Rob. So in fact, we're still paying out some. expenses like going to festivals and stuff. That's straight out of our pocket. I'm just being transparent with you. Thank you so much for the shopping you're doing. It helps because the little bit that we've made off the store, the little bit that we've made off every little thing that we've done, it does help. But just want to be transparent that way. There's people don't know until they know, and so it takes 2 to 3 years to build a business, and this is a business. It's we're passionate about, but it is a business, and some maybe do it quicker. But first our first goal was to become where we're basically paying for itself, and that's kind of where we're at. So we'll see. I took a long time with that, but it's okay. Those companies deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. If they ever need me to be a spokesperson, I'd be more than happy to do it. In some ways, we are, but God bless those folks, and you pray for them. It's tough. They're under attack every day. For why? For the same reasons we said: pro America, pro life, pro Christian, pro veteran. Think of the people within our own nation who hate their guts just for those stances they take. You know what? I'm proud to stand with them, and many, many or more like them. There's a lot of people like that. Support your small business in your communities, and the mom and pops. These chains. I mean, I get it. I got nothing against the chains. It's fine, but I love to support the mom and pop operations. These folks are working 80 to 100 hours a week trying to make a go. In fact, there's a guy I just saw in our area, a lifelong dream to open his own business. It's a barbecue place. I'm going to have to make the journey down and help out. Um, it just makes me feel so good. This is our dream, and we're building our dream. He's building his dream, and maybe we can help each other. I don't know, but I'll certainly go down and talk to him, and I'll buy some good barbecue. I'm sure it's good. But that's the greatness of America, that you can still, even with all the roadblocks that get put in your way sometimes, you can still follow the American dream. And I think that is truly amazing that you can do that. So, sorry, my ads usually run behind me. It wanted to be paying this morning and not pull up, so you see my reflection. So that's why it's not up, as there was. Didn't want to. I'm gonna have to hardwire it. Sometimes it just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. Maybe it is the solar flares. It was working fine last night. Then this morning it goes haywire. So support all those fellow podcasters as well, especially on the Rumble. If you don't have a Rumble channel, why not? Download that thing today. I was just talking to my granddaughter. I put it on her phone, but we've got to go back into our email and verify. I didn't realize that, so we'll work on that today. But our friends out there, and there's more than this. This is just some that we have. You see ours at the top, but we've got to add to it. There are other ones we know, but these are folks that we're friends with, and they have many different kinds of shows, many different kinds of shows, but all of them are good. And some of them have had some health issues. Pray for them. Life goes on, and also pray for our co-hosts that help us. We appreciate them coming along, being very passionate about what they do. A lot of time factor when you're putting together podcasts and stuff. So there are times that you're away from your family doing those things. But hey, we love it. But get you a Rumble channel, and podcast yourself if you'd like to. But if you want to go premium, avoid the commercials. Do that while we're on the air, and they'll track that. That also benefits the Southern Fried. So love our Rumble channel. We're on a new channel as well. WIMKIN, WIMKIN, very new for us. Another platform that protects free speech, and we have about 68 videos up. It's very new for us. It's a nice platform. Nice to have in the family of platforms that we have here at the Southern Fried. So far, knock on wood, we've not been kicked off of any, and so we hope that doesn't occur. A lot of times in people's descriptions, they'll say a refugee from. It means they got kicked off of some platform, and so they relocated and in some cases rebuilt totally. They were early on. There were some that now, thankfully for Rumble, they promised not to do that, and that's why that's the baseline. That's the place where we stand. We've got a couple others we feel pretty good about, but that's the fallback. But some people, that's all they have. That's all their own. But they started somewhere else and figured out quickly their type of show was not going to be welcome at those platforms, and yet they got banned for life under that name, and they had to totally rebuild their programming, and they lost it. They lost it all. That's a lot of work. You think about all the time that you put in, and then you're banned for life. So that happens, and you say, well, they probably just said something to deserve it. You can be as vile as you want to be on a lot of these platforms, and they won't say a word to you, but start talking about conservative things and see how quickly you get kicked out. That's truth, and it's the cold hard reality of who's behind the scenes pulling the levers and keeping that messaging down. And there are a lot of people that like to kick shows like this, and those that I just had listed off the air because they're not afraid to say it as they see it, call it out, promote those things, and they'll stand on it. Those are hills we're willing to die on, as they say, and in some cases, financially, people have because they lost a lot of ministries. A lot of ministries I know they were canceled out. There are still ongoing attacks around the world. Some financial systems that you use to collect your money won't work with conservative podcasters. They ban them. So that there's not a lot of choices. There's not a ton of places you can use. And so that creates problems for them of how if people want to give money, they can't collect it. That's the way they work. They've also worked to cancel out the insurance, uh, putting pressure on insurance companies. This is all programmed. It's all a purposeful attack to shut down free speech. They'll work with insurance companies to drop their insurance. Certain platforms they'll put pressure there to make uh, unsubstantiated attacks and keep reporting them over and over. And sometimes you have to defend yourself when you've done nothing wrong. There's some vile people out there. I mean, absolutely evil and vile, and they will do anything and everything to try to cancel you out. That's okay. We can stand against that but we stand with our brothers and sisters in other platforms and shows who have battled that battle and battle it right now. And we stand with you. It's ridiculous. Like I said, we found out early on just how easy it was to get struck for a week, and we thought we weren't even controversial. We found out real quick some phrases, real quick. That's why you see a lot of code words used. That's why if you don't know what those are, that's why those are in place. You say those in place of. You can't say the words. You can get on, and you can say some foul things. The words, they won't say it. They won't bat an eye. You say one thing, pro America sometimes, or just talk about something that you think is something that people need to know about, or you're standing against the status quo, the official language of the realm, and there's those words, and you can't use them. And they'll strike you, and we've had that happen. It's been a while, but it has happened. Been a little more careful with certain platforms, and we just drop them out if we're going to talk about those things. Sadly, those that follow us there, that's why we always say have a Rumble channel, because there may be times you can't watch us. We will drop that if we know it's going that way because we don't want to get canceled. We'll just drop the stream out. I've done that in the middle of a show where conversation started shifting. Instead of telling people, "Oh, we can't talk about that," I just quickly went up and did a drop that show out of the live and kept moving. And so somebody watched it and be like, "Hey, what happened? We lost it." Oh, we canceled it. It was because if we hadn't, we would have been struck. You get 3 strikes, you're out on some of them, and some it's 1 strike. So you are absolutely correct, my man, and that's what I was talking about. Um, and we didn't directly quote, but we did kind of mention that, and that's the one that got us. That is absolutely the one that got us. And Steve's been around a little longer than we have, and he's been connected and has seen some of that. And so that's why we say there he is coming from Rumble. I just showed the card there with his name on it. The Celtic Blacksmith, give him a follow. But it's ridiculous. And like I said, at the same time, you go on there, and I'm not looking for it, but you can flip on a live and you think, what's this? And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this is allowed to be on the air. But you're right, absolutely quoted that straight from it, and got banned. It just tells you what's going on. Like I say, who's adjusting the levers? Oh, we gotta shut down that Celtic blacksmith up there. He said something we don't like, or Dave and Rob. Southern Fried, you're out. That's how quickly it happens. So hey, broski, good morning to you. Yeah, ceasefire. What ceasefire? I didn't say nothing last night. Sometimes you just got to keep your mouth shut because I'm that guy. I am that guy. I'm the guy that I'm looking at the tea leaves on a lot of stuff. I'm a little more measured. And so last night when this was being talked about, I didn't say a word. I didn't say one word. I was even asked my opinion about it. I didn't even share my opinion about it because I didn't want them to say, think, well, you're being negative. And it's not that I've paid attention to the region really closely for a long time. And I'm sure that all you guys have as well. And I thought that was a little too quick. Hey, listen, I love the president. I do. I support him. And right now, you get attacked by your own if you say anything critical. I got to be honest. I thought it was a little quick to come doing the victory lap on that. I'll just be honest. I was hopeful. I'm always hopeful. It's not that I'm hoping it don't work. But I thought that victory lap was a little quick because that's just not the way things roll in the Middle East. So, broski, absolutely. What ceasefire? It's like Russia, Ukraine. I mean, sure, Mr. President, we will work on a ceasefire. And he comes back and tells the American press, I am hopeful we have a deal in place. We got a little more talking to do. And not hardly before the words gets out of his mouth, Zelensky's over there or Putin, and they're firing a volley of missiles, a record number, or a drone attack. And he's got to be sitting in the office going, what happened? Well, I thought we had a deal. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. This ain't fair. I told the American people we had a deal. Not fair. So I was like, I mean, even the people that set the prices got into it. I mean, oil futures dropped $3 a barrel, on the cost just off that ceasefire in place. If nothing else, they would do it just to disrupt that. So yeah, it's game on like Donkey Kong now. This, let's get out of that crap. Let's get out of it. People are mad anyway that we did what we did. Maybe it needed to be done. I don't know what was going on with those things. I still have questions about that. I guess that's, I won't say conspiracy mind, but it's all just a little too clean. The Middle East is not clean. It's never easy. That whole thing seemed a little too clean to me. I just don't buy. I'm sorry, and I know people get mad at me for that. I do. I get hit pretty hard sometimes, and sometimes I just keep my mouth shut. It's just sit back and watch it. It's like two rabid dogs. I mean, okay, you broke them up. They'll come back around really quickly, and you have to see how things are with things like that. So Iran is a bunch of sure. Well, like we said, the Romulans, the absolute Romulans, yeah. So you just do what you can, and we're hopeful to that. We're hopeful that those things will take effect, absolutely. But you never know. You just never know with them, and we'll just have to sit back and watch, how those things work or how they don't work. I don't know, but I know this. It's easy to get an agreement. It's kind of like, and I won't name the nation, but there's a nation where people have talked about how they'll agree to anything, but to get those agreements, they'll say anything. Why not announce the ceasefire right after bombing the north and the left back? Well, yeah, that's true too, my friend. That's absolutely true. So there is that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But it's really easy to get to say something. And I know how it is. They get on the phones, they're pressure and stuff. They're working through emissaries. They're working through other people who have maybe direct. He says some of his staff has a direct line to to Iran, and maybe they do. But a lot of times you're working through other people, other countries, and it's real easy to get the hey, we got a deal, and then it's real easy for that uh, to fall by the wayside. And I think that's probably what happened here. It's really easy, like I said, to get that on the on the short run, but to have a lasting ceasefire with a state sponsor of terrorism, I mean, doesn't that even fly in the face of? I mean, does that not even like that? That it seems like to me it would not even it doesn't even make sense. You say you have a deal, but who's your deal with? I mean, honestly, who's your deal with? It's really easy to say you've got that. It's not as easy to insure it, and so we may eventually get there, but who's to say if we can stay there? So uh, you know, pray for the president. Like I said, ceasefire. I like it. Ceasefire. What ceasefire? Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, that's great. Oh man, I, you gotta love just watching the dynamics of working with these folks when you look at uh,